Oh, step back and light skin.
Welcome everyone to the am I allowed to say this? Sure? Okay. The Light Skinned Opinion Podcast with your host, author, and culture commentator Chris Maddox, blogger and overall asshole Alf954. And there's no way I'm saying this. It's offensive. Sure this is okay? Fine. And our dark-skinned producer, Parrish Thompson. What do we have today, boys? I mean, guys, not boys, because... Oh, fuck it.
It's the Light Skin Opinions Podcast. What's going on, everybody? I'm your host, Christopher Maddox. Those of y'all who are transitioning over here from Twitch and catching us where we are now, welcome. We're on the Miami Heat Beat YouTube channel, but this will be posted on our YouTube channel right after this is done. But we just want to say welcome. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're right here with us as the world is going through many changes. I'm your host, Christopher Maddox. The man whose phone's going off right there is the dark-skinned producer, Parrish Thompson. P, tell him what's up.
What it do, people? What it do?
And the man across from me in his unusually clean bedroom is my good friend at Alf954.
You stop. My bedroom's always clean. I am a very clean person. I'm kind of OCD. You've been in my place before.
Yeah, but I just can't see you as like a cleanly individual. Like in my mind's eye, you just are not cleanly. So I refuse to acknowledge it.
Well, you just a hating ass nigga. That's why. That's the only explanation. You just a fucking hater. Like,
oh, I lost my other AirPod.
Exactly, with your hating ass.
That was a little fucked up.
Hey, you know how we do, man. We gotta do it how it's supposed to be done. Speaking of doing things how it's supposed to be done, your boy Donald Trump got impeached for the second time. We used to make that joke, that Friday joke. Dang, bro, how you get fired on your day off? Bro, how you get impeached? I just saw this meme the other day. How you get impeached more times than you get elected? Cuz like, how does that even work?
Impeached twice and never won the popular vote.
Never.
Like, he's setting all kinds of records. You know?
But let's go and clear something up because I had a couple people ask me this throughout the day today. We talked about it before, but just so everybody's clear. The House has the power to impeach. The Senate has the power to remove. Though he's been impeached, and that is a black mark on his record, for him to actually be like expelled from the office, the Senate would have to have a trial like immediately. Like tomorrow, he would have to be found guilty in the Senate, and then they could vote to remove him from office. But as it stands right now, talk about being besmirched or a stain on your legacy. This is kind of a big deal, man. I mean, everything that's been going on with this dude, I know, we've been laughing at it and it deserves a whole lot of laughter. But this second impeachment is a harbinger of, I think, a lot of just the negativity and the division that is going to continue to exist in this country for a nice little while. Alf, I know you was kind of like ambivalent about the whole thing a little bit, or at least about the mob attack and all that initially. What's your opinions on where we are right now with our current president getting his second slap on the wrist?
I'm sorry that I'm not paying attention. I'm actually like trying to promote the fact that we're on a different channel right now, and people like hitting me up like, "What? Where the fuck y'all at?" And we just did some old black people shit and showed up at the wrong spot at the wrong time. So just bear with us.
To activate streaming on the
YouTube
man.
Nobody explained this. I blame Giancarlo Navas.
I would too. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Why not?
Parents like, yeah, fuck it.
Giancarlo,
you motherfucker.
I just realized we can create our own page on this. So I'm learning all sorts of things about StreamYard. I'm good at this.
Page is all in the behind the scenes.
All in the behind the scenes, man. I'm letting them in. There's only 21 people watching right now, so they get to.
Hey, 21.
That's what's up, y'all. What's up, y'all?
The big thing for me is like it's all a little bit silly, because they're not even going to hold the vote till after he's out of office anyway, right? Mm-hmm. But there is something to be said for precedent. Like you have to say that the shit he pulled is not fucking okay. Like, don't nobody can ever do this shit again. And also the other good thing about it is that if you impeach him and remove him, even after he's out of office, it means he can never run for public office again. So, like, we would be rid of Trump, quote unquote. You know what I mean? Like, so
I
that
did
is
hear though that they might have to be a separate vote on that. Like if he could run again, I'm not sure about it, but
I think it was. I think
they,
it's. Yeah, I think it's. If he's convicted, I think he just can't run again.
Hmm.
Now, y'all bear with me on this. Little, not conspiracy theory, but does that help Democrats or hurt Democrats? Because you see, McConnell is all on board with the with letting this impeachment go through because he wants to basically remove the cancer that Trump is from his party,
And
right?
he wants to have the Democrats do the dirty work for him.
Exactly. So would it behoove Democrats to just let Trump be out there poisoning the pool of Republican nominees, or is it better just for the sake of the country that this man is never allowed to run a presidential campaign again?
That was my first thought when everything happened last week. I was like, don't rush him out. Let him stay in there. Let him keep messing it up. Let him keep, because I watched the impeachment little hearings or whatever today, and I was listening to some of these Republican floor speeches. And some of these Republicans, I know they're trying to get reelected, whatever, but they are still wrapping themselves in the Trump flag. And so my thought about it was, if we allow him to continue to crash and burn the way he's doing, he's going to bring a lot of these people with him. But only if his crashing and burning, basically, this is what I want to say, that we need Mitch McConnell to pull an excellent PR job and get these people who live in these super Trumpy districts to turn their backs on Trump. And there's really no way to do that. And if he allows Democrats to do it, that doesn't accomplish what we want in terms of getting the whole Trump stain out of the way. If Democrats do it, watch what I tell you. We know that McConnell's a snake. If Democrats, once they take over the Senate and they put him out, McConnell will be the first one screaming loud, "Oh, look at what the Democrats are doing. They're trying to get rid of him." Blah, blah, blah.
No, they're gonna see through it, man.
He'd set it up like that.
I think those Trump supporters are gonna see through it. Like,
what makes you think that?
Because they're already coming at his neck just for even the reports that maybe he's okay with it, or the fact that he was a little bit pleased with it. The Trump supporters are already coming at his neck. So, like, I'm thinking the Trump legacy will be basically splitting the Republican Party in half. Where I know people who are MAGA, and I've seen it out there, that say they'll never, if they convict Trump, right? And they were already looking at 15 to 20 Republican senators might be on board with this, that they will never vote for a Republican again. And let's say only 20-30% of them actually follow through with this threat. Like, that is huge. That is a huge number when it comes to a national election. So I gotta wonder, how does Mitch McConnell right now, he's losing left and right. Is this gamble? Like, I don't know if the gamble for him is worth it, right? Like, or should you just let that Trump cancer just keep growing within the party, or do you try to cut it out now and then rehabilitate yourself by 2024?
Either way, they try and really rehabilitate. Let's do a brief flashback just for context. Y'all remember when Barack Obama came out here and completely dismantled Mitt Romney, right? And then after that, they put out that whole anatomy of what went wrong. And in that report, the Republicans said themselves that in order for them to remain viable, they had to basically be the opposite of everything they are right now. So I'm not sure if they are really ready to change at all. And if they can remain like a split party, I think you're going to see a lot more of this kind of violence, because if they are split, then there is indeed no way they can win, because they would be splitting their own vote. And if what they're mad about what happened in November, they're going to be super mad if they permanently ruin. Like, it's going to take so long to rehab whatever it is that they're trying to rehab. You feel me?
But what are they even rehabbing at this point? Like that, I feel what you're saying because it's almost like what's their identity right now? Because they're no longer. What's that, P?
I said they don't have one. Right now
they don't have one. No.
I mean,
how do Trump supporters feel about Pence right now? They still riding with Pence.
Oh, they hate Pence.
They hate Pence. They hate McConnell. They hate Romney. Yeah. They only like these fringe, crazy QAnon motherfuckers, and like that crazy lady wanted to bring a gun into the fucking house.
Yes, this crazy lady, and they have no policy. They have no policy platform. The things that we used to know Republicans for, I mean, they always going to be for the tax cuts and all that. But outside of abortion and anti-immigration, they're hanging their hat on those two things. And those two things, in my mind, are losing propositions for the future. America is going to change. It ain't no amount of legislation or Republican screaming going to change the fact that the demographics in the country are changing. There is nothing that can change that. I saw a video the other day with Kellyanne Conway's kid making fun of her on TikTok. Like she's all in the kitchen dancing, her mom's getting all mad and stuff. Like that to me is a perfect example of what the Republican Party doesn't want and what they can't fight. Culture. You know, we talk about that a lot on this show. Culture is going to eventually push them out. Their kids are right now, as they are railing against, Biden and all of this, their kids are in their room doing the Busset challenge to Nelly's Hot in Here on TikTok. While they are screaming about how elections were stolen, their kids are doing the renegade, They doing all of that to music that is antithetical to everything they stand for.
I have my favorite Busset challenge. Paris, you got that one? Since we're talking about Busset challenge, you might
have a favorite Busset challenge.
Yeah, Paris, you got it?
Nope.
What do you mean you don't have it?
Boy, say nope.
Because it didn't come. You ain't send it the right format, man. It's different. It went up.
I feel like if you have a favorite Busset challenge. That's also why I feel like your room is dirty. I feel like if your room is dirty, it makes sense that you would have a favorite Busset challenge. You got to like save it in your phone or something like that.
No, it was a joke. It was a girl doing it. She started with the Hot in Here, and then she ended up falling off the side of the Capitol building.
Yes, I saw that. Yeah.
That was supposed to be the joke. Boom. Honestly, this has been a very smooth production today. Very smooth broadcast.
Except for that fresh nope.
Paris, you got it? Nope.
No, sir. Not going to be able to do it.
Emailed that shit in the middle of the day. I didn't hear that it was a wrong format till just now.
I played everything before the show started. Every video. That was not one of the videos that we played.
So let's get on the track here. So we got this impeachment. The impeachment occurs, right? I'm watching the floor speeches today. You have multiple people. This boy, what's your boy with the glasses who be touching on wrestlers in Ohio?
What?
The guy with the glasses,
Jim Jordan.
Yeah,
I was like, me being Okerlund? The fuck you talking about?
No, he's a wrestling coach. He got
Jim Jordan.
Some wrestlers. This man is up, and I see him on the thing, and he's doing his little floor speech. He's like, so Democrats could say yada yada yada, and he gets up. But y'all are mad when the president says, I want y'all to peacefully protest, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, did President Trump say anything about being peaceful? Like they're still playing politics with it in the sense of they're picking and choosing. They're still trying to fight a battle that can't be fought if you've been paying any attention whatsoever.
What they're doing,
flat out double standard, man.
It's a super flat out double standard, but they're still trying to uphold that double standard, which is still like dismaying to me because this tells me that nothing is going to change really in terms of the division in the country for any real time. So I used to be a big proponent of unified government and all that bipartisan stuff. At this point now, Democrats just need to hold on to what they got and they need to just keep on winning elections because Republicans are just going to be the party of stymie.
You literally can't reason with some of these people.
You really can't.
Listen, you can have the person responsible for me hiding and fearing for my life while crazed rioters like try to break down the doors. You couldn't catch me caping for this motherfucker the next week. Like they have completely sold themselves into this belief that they need that this crazy fringe part of the party to continue to continue to get elected over and over, right? Because they're afraid that they're going to get primaried. They're afraid that some crazy QAnon MAGA supporter is going to primary them in an election. And the funny thing to me about all this is like, why it's so important for them to hold on to power. They will sell out the country. They'll sell out their party. They'll even sell out themselves because they were the ones in danger the other day.
I think that's the shocking thing, man. Like as much as all black people love and roll with Obama, I think if he was just blatantly just doing racist and just wrong things, like we would be like, hey, man, you got to chill out. But just the Republicans, they just down to ride with their boy no matter what. This is crazy.
Because I'm telling you, it's a level of desperation there. Lindsey Graham said it before in one of these little clips. If they lose this election, they're afraid that they will never win another election again because the country is changing. And the policy points that they are standing on are so immovable, you feel me, that they're not willing to adapt to the population change, quite frankly. And we've talked about it on this show 180 times. The Republican Party, and I almost hate to say it when we're like live on like YouTube and stuff like that, because I hope nobody don't pick it up and be like, hey, if they stop being racist, they would have so many black people on their side if they just stopped being racist. Black people are some of the most conservative communities that you will ever meet. Black people are not giant, huge fans of abortion. We have our babies. You know what I'm saying? Black people ain't out here championing abortion crazy. But if you want to have an abortion, we're not tripping, because I think everybody on this line has probably had one of them phone calls where you've been like, so what we gonna do?
Wait.
Calm down. You ain't had a what we gonna do conversation.
I'm saying don't just assume things about my life. You know what I mean?
You ain't had a what we gonna do conversation. Don't lie on this YouTube,
bro. You 40 years old. You ain't had no scare before.
Hold on,
you ain't been fucking.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
That's why his room clean now. But that's what I mean. Like, we're not huge.
Okay, I'm back.
We're not fans of abortion. We're not championing it, but we understand that sometimes people be in situations where it's a conversation that's brought up, is what I'm trying to say. So if they would just stop being racist, they would really.
But if they stop being racist,
they're holding on to their racism.
But they lose the racist. They're going to lose the racist vote. That's exactly. Their conundrum is that their party is shrinking. Mm-hmm. It is shrinking, and the only reason they ever had a chance is because Trump brought a crazy fringe into their party. But as that crazy fringe started spreading throughout their party, some of the regular conservatives just started jumping off ship. So basically, that base keeps getting smaller and smaller, and they have a smaller pool to draw from. Like, we have to remember, like, people talk shit about the Democrats. They haven't lost a popular election. They've lost one since 1988. Mm-hmm. One. Like, we got to remember that. George Bush lost the popular vote once, only won it once. And then Trump has lost it twice. They are not winning. They have the majority of this country is center left and left. Like they're and that's why they're aggrieved. That's why they feel disenfranchised, because something that they used to be theirs, white American conservatism, is actually becoming a minority in this country, and that's why they're pissed off. That's why they ran up in the Capitol.
Let me tell you another thing that's really messing them up. The whole idea, because I think what you're seeing with a lot of this that's going on, and this is just a brief slide off into the COVID whole situation, is their whole tenet of smaller government. You want to know why you can't get this vaccine out? Because of this whole small government situation. I watched this press conference with DeSantis up there. You know, he doing his whole thing. That's one of the most sensitive men in the world. I don't know if you know. But that buddy, that's sensitive.
He need to get a suit that fit him.
That too. He need to stop buying suits at JCPenney's.
Yeah,
that boy being JCPenney's.
That button be screaming for dear life, just hanging on.
His shoulder pads be like this. Like, I feel myself. But I'm watching a press conference with him, right? And he's like, "Well, we don't want to." The hospitals, they know more about getting vaccines out. And I'm wondering why none of the reporters followed that up with, so you're telling me individual hospitals all around the state know more about high level logistics than the state of Florida.
Well, my thing is,
Like
how
y'all
about you?
who handle disasters with in all around the state, you telling me that you're gonna punt it to hospitals to get this vaccine out to all of these millions of individual hospitals? Like, come on, bro. But
They
that's part of
love
this mindset of small government is better. Is better
because it
than
allows them to abdicate responsibility.
that's exactly what it does.
You know, they just say, oh, a private, the private sector can handle it better, and they stay pushing off that responsibility, so they have to do no fucking work, and also so that they can enrich their friends who are probably on the boards of these hospitals. We can just give the hospital more money, and whoever's on the board of that hospital, they put that shit in their pocket. We can leave this to private sector to do that, and they keep enriching their friends instead of actually fixing any of these problems. Because you look at, that's why we can't get fucking infrastructure shit done. Like, we can't get no big national projects. Like, this motherfucker couldn't even build the wall with both houses of Congress.
Because that's foolishness, man. You know how much it costs to build a wall? Like,
I know.
This is the great fallacy of the whole thing.
That was never going to happen.
It was never going to happen. You can't. Some people just don't have logic. Like, you can't say we're going to cut taxes, which means we're going to cut revenue, and then we're going to go build a giant ass wall. Like those two things don't match. Like, I can't go tell my wife, "Hey, babe, look, I'm gonna quit my job, and then we're gonna build a house in Weston." Like that. Those things don't work that way.
And Alpha's going to pay for it.
And Alpha's going to pay for it. Like this kind of like this talking that they do, these talking points that don't get put under the pressure of like scrutiny, they just be saying stuff. And then even when they do something correct, they still manage to mess it up. They're like the Dallas Cowboys. How you create a vaccine in a year? Nah, I'm not going to talk about the effectiveness of the vaccine. Who knows? But I will let y'all know I am black and I'm shaky on vaccines that's new in the world. Just like if you got, that's why I never got on board with Scientology. Like Scientology was too young. I needed my religions to be hundreds of years old and shit. Like a vaccine that's like a year old, I don't know. But anyway, you produce this vaccine, your Operation Warp Speed works, right? But then your whole distribution falls completely
Warp
apart.
Speed didn't work, but that's a whole different.
Well,
because
it's like that mixtape you made, Alf, that you put your heart and soul into, you thought was raw, and then nobody bought it, and you couldn't get it out to nobody, you couldn't upload it, you couldn't sell it, and now
check me out on
SoundCloud.
Check me out on SoundCloud.
Rapping in Creole.
Yeah, hit me up. I got a couple joints on there, bangers.
But even when they do something kind of right, they still find a way to mess it up because their intentions aren't pure. And that sounds so like cliche and Pollyannish, but their intentions really aren't. They wanted to be able to say we have a vaccine. They didn't even think about how do we get the vaccine out.
Because the focus has been on denying that this thing existed, denying that it was a real pandemic, denying that it was a real problem, denying. And that's your whole focus. And then also pretending that the election was rigged and pretending this. Like none of the focus of this administration has been on actually creating plans and solutions to handling this pandemic. It's been about just pretending, like it's like what the NBA is doing right now. It's like just pretending it isn't happening, keep pushing through, and eventually the shit will work out. Like there's been no plan from the very beginning. Mm-hmm. We see other countries like Australia, they doing concerts, nigga. Like
concerts, massive concerts.
We doing concerts, and then you find there's an outbreak in the area like in 2 weeks. Like,
and even the countries who aren't doing well, like the European countries, like over in the United Kingdom, at least they try and be like, we've completely given up on any type of effort to get this virus under control. They told us wait for the vaccine. We waited for it. Now the vaccine is here and they can't get it to nobody. And it's like they're just so super like incompetent. And I'm low key like I'm just tired of talking about them. I'm tired of talking about that. And I wonder sometimes how many other people in the country are just tired of Republicans. Like, cause I just can't ride with you no more. Like
what I'll tell you is if the Democrats don't do nothing, right?
Yeah.
If they don't break niggas off with that, even if it's just another 1,400 or 2,000, whatever, if they don't break niggas off, if they don't get them PPP loans to the right people, to the right small businesses, not Tom Brady and these other motherfuckers, like if they don't do what the people have mandated them to do, I mean, by 7 million votes. And if they don't do what they're supposed to do, we won them Georgia. We got them the House. There will be hell to pay come 2020,
There really
2022.
will.
I don't know. Like, honestly, I don't know. That might be, if they don't do nothing, it might be the lowest fucking turnout election we've ever seen.
And then you'll have a real like problem with our democracy if that happens, because it will have proven that really your vote don't matter other than giving power to someone that's not you. And that is the complete opposite of what our democracy is supposed to be about. Speaking of democracy in America, what is it? Uno pluribus unum or something like that. Out of many one, e pluribus unum or something.
Yeah.
Some crazy ass Latin. I like to say that sometimes, but people who don't know better sound smart, but clearly I got it wrong just now. There's been something else going on, right? Have y'all seen these posts? There's one going around with the white dude. He's on like TikTok or whatever. He's talking about why he likes black women. Y'all seen that whole thing?
Yeah.
And I saw on the Breakfast Club this morning they were talking about it, like interracial relationships, but particularly white dudes dealing with black women. And there, P just put up Shonda Rhimes, and there's I didn't even realize this until who said it? I think Parrish brought it to my attention at least. That Shonda Rhimes is not all of her couples on her shows are interracial. Is that what it is?
Yeah, it was actually my homegirl that brought it to my attention, and she said she was going to start boycotting Shonda Rhimes shows until she has a show that features a black couple as a lead. Like none of her black leads, whether it's male or female, has a black counterpart. It's all interracial relationships.
Is that really boycottable? Like, is that? That's the dude who I was about to say. That's the nigga I was thinking about. Then I remember we was live, but that's the dude I was thinking about. I was like, he gotta have a black wife, right? Or that's the Grey's Anatomy buddy.
That's the Grey's Anatomy buddy.
Y'all sure he just not buying some cookies
right here?
Yeah, that's that new show, Bridgerton. It's
let me
nothing
talk about Bridgerton really quick, because everybody is championing. Oh, look, they got such a diverse cast. And I think we've talked about this before. My problem with this, because I work with young people, young people going to start growing up and thinking that these little TV shows are exactly how it was. And maybe that's a good thing for like racial harmony and whatever. But I'm still old enough to know that is exactly not how it was. It wasn't no black lords or nothing moving around in high society in Britain. It wasn't no black queen. There's one black dude that I know in the history of my life, and his name is Othello. And he was a Moor, and he still was only respected because he was a raw soldier. So when I see stuff like Bridgerton, I'm like, yeah, this is cool, but can we put like a little fantasy thing on it? Like, this is racial fantasy. This ain't real. Well, because I feel a way about that, because I don't want people just to get comfortable. They already comfortable, and they be like, "Oh, what y'all need change for? You didn't see Bridgerton? It was a black prince." I'm like, "Nigga, what?"
There was a black queen, but every person in a high position on that show is light skinned, which we should be championing here, but we all know that's bullshit. Put that back up, but this is what the impetus of that is, Chris. Like, look at all these, black women. This is on Twitter. One thing about Shonda Rhimes, she loves herself an interracial couple. Shonda Rhimes loves her some interracial couples. Shonda Rhimes knows she loves interracial. Like, it's like people are noticing this shit. Like, it is not. It's not going under the radar. It's like really. My girl was watching Grey's Anatomy the other day, and it was like, damn, it was another light-skinned dude with a white woman. And the thing is, it's not that there's anything wrong with interracial couples, but like. And I feel like Shonda Rhimes is catching way too much flack for this, because but people do want to see regular black love on TV. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm gonna come at it from a different angle. People do want to see regular black love on TV. That's absolutely true. But I'm gonna come at it from something more practical, because when you say that people want to see black love on TV, it sounds real abstract. I think one of the issues is black actors. Like, why you got that man there, right? Me and my brother used to have this conversation all the time. We used to say, look, if you want more black people working in Hollywood, you need more black characters. Because if you got a black character, then his daddy black, his mama black, his brother black, whoever black. But now it's like you got a black character, you taking a job away from a black actress, or you're taking a job away from a black actor in that relationship. And I know that kind of sounds away, but this is what it is to be black in America. It's to look at the smallest things, like the racial makeup of a fake couple on television. And in that fantasy moment, what you see is the discrepancies that exist. It's like when the white buddy did the Where the Money Reside video. It's like, can we have anything? Can I just have a show with just, that's like the whole dust up that's coming up with the Soul movie. And people are like, oh, Soul, he's not black the whole time. I'm like, but the whole rest of the class is black. We need that representation.
Wait, I gotta pause for a second. A white dude tried to do Where the Money Reside?
You ain't see that?
A white dude tried to take that over? No.
I mean, he came out the trunk and everything.
He did it
was
bad.
looking all hockey and was doing all kind of. I was like, sir, let us just live, dog. Let us live. But the answer to Shonda Rhimes and all of that is, and maybe this is a good thing or bad thing. I know I was gonna hate it. Is Tyler Perry. If you want, let's sound like Suge Knight. If you want your couples to all be black and not be kissing up on white folks, come over to Tyler Perry Studios and you can watch Sisters, you can watch Bros, you can watch all of his shows that he got on over there. And that's Tyler Perry's whole impetus for everything he does is let's just stop looking at these mainstream type of shows to give us what we want, which is like adequate representation.
Well, this is actually going to transition very well into our next topic because one of the things they were showing these a juxtaposition of two Tyler Perry movies. One was called Bros.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
and
these
it was
are television shows. They're not movies.
Yeah, it's television show, and it was like, oh, 4 young black men having the time of their lives, being single, blah blah blah, this and that. And then they had another show about single women,
all sisters,
and about they're all wondering why can't they find a man? Why can't they get married? So it was like everyone was like, that shit looked real funny in the light, like. The 20 something black men are having the time of their life. They out here doing their thing, having a good time, and then the 20 something black women are out here looking for a man. They need to find a husband, or they can't be, fulfilled. What Siobhan said?
Let me interrupt you because Siobhan is exactly right. It's not about just having black couples on television or filmed, and this is kind of the point I was making very inarticulately. It's the type of blacks in the black stories that accompany the characters. That's part of it. And that's really what when you look at that, Shonda Rhimes is a black woman. She's successful, she's very talented. But it's a fallacy to think that she makes content for black people. She's making mainstream content for ABC and for the masses. For sure. She's not making content for us, you feel me? And so if we're looking at Shonda Rhimes, like to that's not her bag, you feel me? Like she's not trying to tell that story. Like I'm glad that that Scandal has got like a black woman lead character, but
that ain't a black show though. It feels like that,
and it has nothing to do with her, which is also not really a bad thing. I mean,
we do need some of that. We do need some of that. So, like, I don't like her catching. I don't like the fact that the black woman is catching these strays. But the problem is like that if she's doing it so much that it becomes noticeable, the fans of her shows, like then there's something to be said for the fact that maybe you got to think back and sit back and look at what am I doing?
My bad. I was gonna say she could have gave Harrison from Scandal a black girlfriend. I don't think he had one black love interest that whole show.
No,
like, she could have, like.
Because who does do exactly what Siobhan mentioned is Ava DuVernay.
Yeah.
Ava DuVernay, everything she makes, she like I'm making.
She tells black stories.
She tells black stories, and that's Shonda Rhimes is like, nah, I ain't doing that, cuz that's not what I'm doing. But Alf, go ahead, because I think you was about to.
Well, I want
transition us into.
That was kind of what I was trying to transition to. Like the next topic we kind of want to talk about, and I think you have a picture of the young lady Parrish. Lori Harvey, Steve Harvey's daughter, and the double standard that is
rich.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. The double standard that is accompanying this young lady as she goes about dating in her young life, but as a super famous person, I guess, she's getting a little bit more shine than the rest of us do.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to my man Alf, Captain Save 'em,
Super.
Sydney. This is man right here.
But anyway, before you get into that, Jesus Christ,
go ahead and do your little.
We do because we don't want to just have three dudes over here talking about this young woman. So we're gonna bring in my cousin Carly Mensa.
Hey,
but
you're
make
muted.
It clear. What's up, Carly? Carly has been on before. Carly is not just on because she's Alf's cousin. So give her a proper intro.
She's been on before. She was very popular with the audience. She's also been on Real Housewives of the Potomac. Yes, I'm gonna shout you out. Your multimedia career. She has her own podcast called On the Rocks. So Carly, what's going on? How are you doing?
Hey guys, thanks for having me again.
No problem.
It's been a long time. So Alf, you were excusing some behavior, I believe.
I'm not excusing no behavior. Okay, so Carly, my thing is this: I'm seeing Lori Harvey getting called out as, let's say the word. She's getting called a hoe. She's been called a slut, scandalous. She's running through Black Hollywood. But I don't feel like people say that shit about Drake when he out here doing what he's trying to do.
You are absolutely correct. No,
so
they are not.
Is there a double? Is the double standard real, or is Chris writing my Captain Save him and I'm just making up excuses?
Captain Save him. There is a double standard, but you still Captain Save him.
Everybody knows.
Everybody knows. Don't establish that. It is what it is. However, yes, of course it's a double standard. Like for me, Lori, like if I were in my 20s, she would definitely be my role model. She is the absolute GOAT. She is the Thanos of dating. Like I'm all about her right now. Completely. And the thing is, she doesn't even have, it's not even about her feelings. Like she's totally acting like y'all. She's like, okay, I'm not with that. I'm not for that. Can we cuss on this?
Yeah.
Okay, she's not about the fuckery. So, she just moves on. And it's the problem is her caliber is like so high. You know what I'm saying? And it's like the dudes are the ones always posting her. Do you see Lori like shouting out all the dudes? Exactly.
Nope. She's definitely a pimp with it.
Right.
My thing is just there's double standard. Like nobody likes to be judged, and nobody wants to accept that there's double standards. And I'm not saying they're right or they're good, but it's what it is. It's the same. Like we've all known girls who have like been with girls in college, right? And we just write it off as she's just being crazy. But a nigga that mess around with another nigga, he's like, you just gay forever, bro. It's just a double standard of
forever.
It's just what it is. That's a double standard in life, man. We just accept them. Lori, keep doing your thing. I'm not mad at her for it, but they're gonna say you're a little loose with your game. It's just.
But this is what Alf. This is what
making her loose. She's dating. She's not dating five dudes at the same time.
I don't know that this is true, but I heard she ran through Puffy and his son. That's a little. Okay. That's a little. I'm not saying it's wrong, but I'm just.
No, it is. It's gross, but I want everyone to get the same level of grossness. Like that's my thing.
But don't everybody know
that really quickly? Because you're right. In that situation, Lori comes across to me as an opportunist because whenever that's framed, it's like she was just talking to the low one to get to the big one.
Yeah.
My problem in that situation, you know what I'm saying? I mean, my problem in that situation is not with Lori Harvey. And see, this is where we're going to get with this, with me at least. And it's the same thing. Pimping has a negative connotation for a reason. It's not my problem ain't with Lori Harvey in that. But if I'm Puffy though, it ain't no way I'm fucking behind my son. I'm sorry. If that's just another level on the Puffy situation. If my son done, I can't really. Can you
get it first and then your son come after you?
Is that okay?
No, but we could have a easier conversation about it. Maybe we won't have to like.
Puppy's grinding.
But my thing with Lori though is like, yes, she's dating. I get all of that, right? But y'all act like we don't say this same thing about dudes. Period. I've heard Drake called a hoe too, but I'm not even talking about like the public view of it. In my personal opinion, as the guys, I'm not messing with Lori Harvey. Lori Harvey is beautiful. Lori Harvey fine. She got a natural body. All that is great. But I can't, as myself, be another nigga to jump on this train. So whether you want to blame Lori Harvey or you want to blame whoever else, it ain't gonna be me though. You ain't gonna have me hugged up with
I don't think this
taking
is.
you on vacation, spending bread on you just so.
I know what he's about to say.
hurt before.
You ain't got to worry about it. That's what you about to say.
I mean, like Chris, I don't think you have. This is something you have to worry about.
Right.
Nah, see, y'all be playing, but this is what I'm talking about. It ain't Lori Harvey, but it's gonna. This is what
but okay. So
whether it's Lori Harvey or it's just a girl around your way who raw that everybody know. Lori Harvey ain't special because she's famous.
Okay, but here's my
like that. Everybody know, and I'm never
my
gonna
question.
be that nigga to jump on the train behind somebody else. Like,
well, here's my question. Like, why does her body count matter but yours don't?
Who said mine don't? You're saying that. I'm not talking about society when we have this conversation. I'm talking about Christopher Maddox, me. I'm not speaking on behalf of society. If somebody would critique my body count,
isn't even like that, Chris. Like, y'all are making like a mountain out of molehill. She's dated publicly what, 6, 7 guys? First point. Second point, y'all assuming she slept with all of them.
Oh, come on, Carly.
I'm just saying.
Come on, Carly. If we going on trips, we sleeping together. Carly.
Are they all
I'm
taking
not
her on
taking you
trips?
to Trinidad to play Uno, Carly. We are not going to Cabo San Lucas to play Monopoly, Carly. Come on now.
So,
I'm just saying that was an assumption that she is sleeping with all of them, but that might not be the case. Because
if that's not the case, she a super pimp. If she getting trips and doing all this, and she not breaking nobody out, then, then she just got the best finesse situation in the world.
But why is that finesse?
She is a finesser.
It's super finesse. Alf, look at Alf Captain Saver.
I'm not. No,
why is that finesse?
First of all, someone called you Captain for Maddox for not for cap and talk about you would have fucked with Lori Harvey. Like, nigga, please.
I really wouldn't though.
Yeah, okay.
I really wouldn't.
All
right. Would. Chris, stop.
I would not.
Don't
I would not because I would not for the exact same reason that y'all saying I would. I would not because you ain't gonna catch me looking thirsty behind. No, I'm straight. I'm super straight. You better ask anybody who know me. I'll tell a bitch no quick. You straight?
You got
hell yeah. Carly, I don't want to brag, but
oh man.
You don't know me?
Chris,
I'll tell somebody. I ain't.
Chris acting like this ain't nobody. Chris acting like this ain't a visual platform now. Like, yeah, you chill out.
What? Something wrong with this visual, my nigga? What? You tell me. Something wrong with this visual?
Carly looking at you like,
never
what?
Been that way though. I have never been the type of dude that Lori Harvey could be raw, but the exact reason, and that's probably one of my downfalls too. The exact reason why y'all saying I would is exactly why I wouldn't, because you ain't gonna. Yeah.
You would say no, Lori.
I sure enough would.
Stand by my standard and be ethical.
Yeah.
I wish we had. I need to get Andre on here, Troy. And y'all need to know. Y'all don't know me. Like, you gonna have to come after me, Lord. Like, nah, yeah, I'm not taking it down.
Okay,
come on, man. You gonna let this nigga ride out like?
Whoa, which one, Chris?
Yeah.
I mean, if he says he's not touching her, I mean, what am I going? Not everybody likes the girl that gets around. You know what I'm saying?
No,
like, and I'm not, but not everybody likes the guy that gets around either, though. But everybody knows
dudes.
But everybody knows Lil Wayne's community dick, right? Lil Wayne fucks everybody.
Well, yeah.
Not everybody's interested. Not everybody's interested in fucking Lil Wayne. That's just the way it just look at the face you're making right now. You know what I'm saying?
Look at Lil Wayne. Look at Lil Wayne though.
Yeah, that's
let's bring Drake back up again. So if let's reverse the tables then. So Drake come hollering at you, Carly, you like, okay, you down with it.
First of all, that's not my voice. Would I let Drake take me out? Yes.
Mm-hmm. I would let Larry Harvey take me out. If that's the case.
Date me, not make me part of his stable.
You know what, Drake? When he gonna start singing to you?
This is what, I like how we doing these little semantics. He can date me, but not make me part of his stable. That's just how I imitate people. That's not
yes, I have standards and rules, and if you can't abide by them, then okay, you could take me out on one date, but that's all it's gonna be.
Cups full of rose.
I sound like that. I feel like that's the same thing I'm saying.
About Carly.
Thank you, Harry.
That's the same thing I'm saying, but why we not hitting Carly with the you don't have to worry about that? Because that's the same thing I'm saying. I got standards and morals too. You're not finna. You're not.
Are you looking at me, Chris?
Oh, I see you. But that's the same thing I'm saying. It's like you're not just going just because you Lori Harvey.
Like Chris, you set yourself up for that one. I mean, you walked right into that shit.
I don't
think I walked into it. I think me and Carly are just saying the same thing. Y'all have terrible self-confidence, apparently, Alpha and all. Yeah,
it's not about
nobody going. I'm not finna jump behind no, just because she Lori Harvey, I'm supposed to do backflips. Nigga, please. You know why
it's not about that.
Like, in a perfect world, you run into Lori and she's feeling you. You're gonna be like, no.
No, you've dated too many people, nigga. Get the fuck out of here. You sound silly.
But if I bump into
too many boyfriends,
let me add this to it. Because let me add this to it for a little bit of clarity. Because it's not just that, oh, you dating and you got a lot of boyfriends. Let's take it to the original conversation. You dating people who I know. All of these
TV
she has no. Listen to me, dog. All of these people who she has dated will all be in the same place at multiple times. They all gonna be at an award show. They all gonna be at somebody's party. They all gonna be here. I am not, and maybe that's the insecurity because I don't want to be the guy in the room who is the fourth. As she is walking through the room here, I'm just one of a number who's in here like, oh man, once upon a time I had a chance. Oh, now she's over here with Justin Combs. Oh my gosh. I'm not going to be that. To be quite honest, I don't understand why Michael B. Jordan is posting it like it's an accomplishment. And I don't know if that comes across the side way, but I don't get that part.
No, I don't think he's posting it like it's an accomplishment. I think he's posting it because, this day and age, your relationship isn't real unless you post it.
That's true.
If that's just...
He's just establishing this is who I'm with right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's bragging about it. I mean, he's Michael B. Jordan. I don't think he needs to do that.
Yeah, I think
you would date. Yo, you rich. Lori Harvey, the only thing on my wish list. That's who you want to date, Alf.
I don't. The whole idea of me worrying about who someone's been with before me, like, is to me. You calling me insecure.
So that's make it local.
Wait, no. Wait, let me finish. Go ahead. That's some old insecure shit. You worried about who else had been up in your girl before you were, where you worry you can't measure up.
Okay, why are we dealing with Why are we dealing with hypothetical?
I'm in a party and I'm with a woman and she's dated 4 other guys in the party. Why would I get
no? Let's do it this way. She's not just dated 4 other random guys in the party. She's dated Cheese. She's dated all your other little homeboys who
you keep moving the goalposts.
You keep moving the goalposts. That's the people
you act like Michael B. Jordan and Future are fucking best friends from middle school. Like you bringing up my middle school friends. Like that doesn't make no damn sense.
The people who you move in a circle with. That's what I'm bringing up.
That's not my best friends. My best friends from middle school and niggas in my industry are 2 fucking different things. Thank you very much. Because I work in an industry with a lot of other black people. And if I dated a woman in my industry that dated other black men in my industry, I wouldn't feel a type of way. That's security. Being insecure would be like, well, I can't date her because Brandon dated her. You know, that's no sucker ass shit. Like, what are you doing?
I swear you work with a dude's named Brandon.
I just brought him a name.
Not why cheese.
Why cheese, man? Why cheese?
Cheese is the only one of his friends who I could remember.
You bring it up. What about a dude I've known for 20 years and saying,
I didn't know that you knew a dude named Cheese for 20 years. I thought this was a nigga who you ran with.
For 20 years.
Carly's known Cheese for 20 years. You gonna bring up that's now I'm gonna have to talk to Cheese's wife after this shit. Have a conversation
that because when I argue and when I have debates, I always acknowledge points. That's a valid point. You with somebody in your industry and all that. That's a valid point. I'm not saying that Lori Harvey is any type of like I don't want to use the word whore or whatever. I'm not saying she's any of that. I'm not saying any of that about Lori Harvey. I'm saying the guys who are, I wouldn't be one of them dudes because to me it comes across a lot like simping. And you ain't gonna catch Chris Maddox simping nowhere. A lot of these fellas.
That sounds a lot like insecurity to me. That's what
I don't think so. Why is that insecure not to want to be a simp?
Because you worried about who she been with before. Like
No. You're not hearing what I'm saying. These dudes are not just all right. All of them pictures that you show, half of them she was on vacation. I'm not.
Show them pictures again.
You're not gonna have me out here. This is
Just
a
because you
vacation
can't
for
afford the
future.
vacation, don't mean
It don't have nothing to do with
you
affording.
listen.
Nothing.
You
Stop
pay for
making it
shit
about
at your
money.
you pay for
It don't
shit
have
at your
nothing to do with
level.
that.
You pay for shit at your level. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
So you
I
taking her
guess.
with Chris is like them taking her on vacation.
But Chris is
I
like, you
don't
ain't
think
going
the
to Chris.
connotation of that is the same.
You're not,
Chris is
you're
like,
not even
Chris is
taking the
trying to
Ruth
take him to
Chris now.
Chili's. Chris
Okay.
is saying you can
I
only
know
take him
you
to
ain't
Chili's.
talking. Have
Well,
you been to
if you
Ruth
taking
Chris,
girls to
nigga?
Philly, you're gonna
Of
get
course I have.
Philly caliber women. You don't take Lori Harvey to Philly. You gotta take her somewhere. She gotta get on a plane.
Now that part of that, that's
private
not. That's
one
what
at
I'm
that.
not. I don't care because maybe it's because I can't see that far and live in that world with that money. But I'm not doing it. To me, it comes across as simping. You're doing all of that, and because that's a different. I guess to y'all whole point is that's a different level of dating. And to that regard, I can't speak to that. I don't date internationally, bit. You know what I'm saying? I don't date on motherfucking boats and
Honestly,
airplanes.
it just
I don't
sounds
do
like
that, and I never have. So I can't envision being the
Chris
type.
don't go east of the turnpike.
it just
No.
sounds like
I'm
you
not-
don't want a girl that puts too much that has too many relationships on social media, man. That just sounds like the problem, man. She need to keep that shit.
That's part of it too. I mean, that's just me personally.
Like-
I'm not gonna be. It's simping. It's plain and simple to me. Future was simping on her. Everybody is simping on her.
Why?
You know, I can't. That's the part that is. I'm not talking nothing about Lori. Lori can get what she gonna get because that's what everybody do in America. It's your job to capitalize, but you ain't gonna capitalize off me. Because let me tell you this way. So y'all think these relationships are all genuine? Because that's the other part we haven't talked about.
Someone took a picture of them out on date. Like it doesn't have to, you know,
No,
it doesn't mean
I'm
they were in love.
So when she's dating Justin Holmes,
I think
she's
you're
dating
arguing
Justin Holmes. Go ahead, Carly.
because she's Steve Harvey's, and everybody keeps saying Steve Harvey's daughter. She's Steve Harvey's stepdaughter.
Stepdaughter took his last name for clout, but go ahead.
However,
God.
exactly.
That's a good move, though. I mean, if you clout chasing, you might as well take the more popular.
You got to go all the way. You have to be committed to the clout chasing. You don't have to clout chase. You got to go all the way. Secondly, have you met her mama?
Yeah, I was telling
all
Paris this. Yeah. Mhm.
So this is how she grew up. I know her mom was like, I don't want you dating rappers or whatever. Wink, wink. Like, come on. Like, you knew that was going to happen. And no, maybe the relationships aren't always genuine. However, she's having a good goddamn time. And that's all she's doing. She's 20 something.
She just turned 24.
Right. Like, if I had to go back, I'm like, I'm kicking it with Lori. Lori seems to have a formula happening. Take me on a trip, goddamn it. I don't want you taking me to Chili's. I am not that caliber girl. Take me across.
And by the way, I don't do Chili's in the real world. I just want because y'all are floating this. That's how stuff gets spread. That's how Trump ended up trying to take over the country by spreading falsities and rumors. I don't
conspiracy theories.
TGI Fridays. None of that, sir. None of that.
But I'll take it to a sports
It's
bar.
okay to have a good time, man. Just if you move a certain way, people gonna talk about you, but you just gotta ignore it, man. It's what it is.
I think people are jealous, honestly.
I think there is jealous.
You can't do it.
I think
hit Lori Harvey. It seems like if you got enough money, you could. If you got enough cash.
Say that again, Carly.
I said the thing about it is these 20-year-olds are like, oh hell, she is a hoe, she did this, she did that. Why don't you level up and be a Lori Harvey? You too can be a Lori Harvey.
You too.
You too can be a Lori Harvey. Like, stop, hating on her and try to be her.
But why? What is it? What is it? Let's not be ridiculous here. I'm gonna try and because Alpha's warning us about this. He was like, "Well, this topic we don't want to be misogynist." I hear you, Alpha. So I'm hearing you in my head as
I've been good, by the way. I just want to point out.
You've been
purposely not talking.
In our group chat, what I'm saying was very mild compared to what Parents is saying. But I'm gonna phrase it this way: she must have a fantastic personality, or something. It must be something. It must be something about this young woman
that drip.
Chris, we grown. Call it what it is. She got that good, and that's okay.
Wow, it gotta be because I mean, for Meek Mill to put that in a verse, you know what I'm saying? And think about everything else that you know about rappers, right? For him to put that in a verse, this is who I want on my wish list. For her, and then for everybody, for dudes to be almost seem like they lining up. She must have fantastic conversation. Like her telephone game must be amazing.
It is. I bet you it is. Yeah. It sure is.
It must be, I'm gonna be politically correct and safe with it and say, that conversation must be amazing. Like,
She is out here ruining lives, okay? Like niggas are like, hey, Lori, I was wondering, if you had time.
that's a good point. Who is Mark P? Future got 40 baby mamas and only claimed Lori. That is the
That shit is
absolute
fire.
She just made a point that Siobhan made earlier, and this is what you date who you're around. This ain't new. She hangs around famous people all day. That's the thing. We talk about clout chasing. This is her dating. This is her dating pool.
Like who else you gonna date?
Like Chris grew up dating chicks in Lauderhill. Like she grew up in Hollywood. He said bad ones too. Guaranteed they had other dates before you, my nigga. Like you weren't the first for all of them. And no, never take me on a date to the Cheesecake Factory. Cheesecake Factory is trash. Cheesecake Factory is trash. That's a terrible fucking restaurant.
Alf, shut up.
That's when your menu's that big, you can't make anything well. You just make a lot of shit.
That's true. That is very true.
You don't do anything good.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So let's take that same logic and apply it to Lori Harvey. When your menu's that big, when your roster is that big, you don't do anything. I mean, that's your logic. That's your logic. You just said it.
All right. Will you apply that same logic to yourself?
Right.
Yeah, that's your logic. What am I doing so big? What you
I'm just saying.
You got to fill in your joke now. You can't just leave.
No, if your body. I mean, if your body count is, you know what I'm saying. That's the same.
Who
thing.
said Lauderhill? Y'all know Lauderhill. One time for Lauderhill. That's right. I know Alf ain't talking. Alf grew up in Coral Springs.
Yes, I did. And
talking to
my
girls
dating pool was bar mitzvahs.
Bar or bat mitzvahs?
Both. That's where you learn.
I would put the outro right there. That was good. I like that.
What's that? Both with the F on the end.
Both of them.
Yes.
Go ahead and take us out, Alf. After you done had me embarrass myself on this thing, talking foolishness. Go ahead.
Y'all hit that subscribe button below. All y'all people from Lauderhill and Pompano, thanks for all the support, man. Yeah, we've had this is only our second video, and I mean the subscriptions are climbing every single day. Thank y'all very much. Actually, don't subscribe to this channel. Well, go ahead and subscribe to Miami Heat Beat, but also go subscribe to the Light Skin Opinions YouTube channel.
We need 1,000 followers so that we can actually have a real name behind our backslash instead of
so it could be youtube.com/0QHK. But also subscribe to this one too, because I do hangover time after every Heat game on this one. Thank you guys. We'll be back next week. That's either Wednesday or Thursday. Follow me on Twitter at Alf954 for all the updates.
Appreciate you coming through, Carly.
Thank you, Carly, very much.
Love you guys.
I think it really toned down the misogyny, because I don't know what would have happened.
You're welcome, by the way. You're welcome.
I love the misogyny.
Because I was chilling.
You know who else loved the misogyny? Lori Harvey.
Oh my God.
End the broadcast.
Bye, guys.
It's over. It's over.